Alright, so today I want to talk about what I've learnt in the year or so that I've been doing YouTube. Specifically things I've learnt about some of the myths or hearsay trolls, the different ways that people can troll and how to kind of deal with it, and also how to make a successful channel. I think what I'm going to talk about today will help someone who's new getting into YouTube. I think a lot of new people have these misconceptions that I'll address. So anyway, welcome to my channel where we talk about bikes and Bible verses. We're not really talking about bikes today, but as usual we'll have a Bible verse in the end, so please stick around for that. The first thing I want to talk about is this elusive and sought after delayed success in videos. This is the one where people release a video, the video doesn't do too well, but then gets a sudden surge of success. The problem I have with this is I think it gives a bit of a false hope in that it makes people believe that it can happen to any video, when I think there's a lot more actually happening under the hood. And the main thing is that it's a one-dimensional way of thinking about it, in that the only factor is time. What doesn't get talked about is the other things that are part of the formula, being the characteristics of the channel itself, how old the channel is, whether the channel covers a single or multiple niches, and other factors. They're all things that contribute to these delayed successful videos, and people just don't talk about it. And so it gives a lot of people who don't have those characteristics in their channel a bit of a false hope, in hoping that one day their video will explode too. Recently I started noticing these delayed surge in success in some of my videos, but later on I realized the cause because I'd started developing a different niche, different to my main niche. And when I went back to my regular niche, YouTube is probably testing those videos on the new audience developed from my new niche before going to my regular audience. That's just one example of the characteristics of your actual channel has on these delayed surges in videos. I'm not saying that a delayed successful video doesn't happen. I'm just saying that it's not just as one-dimensional as putting a video out there and giving it time and maybe you'll just get lucky. There are a lot of other factors about a person's channel which play into this, which a lot of people I think are ignoring. The second point I want to talk about is trolling. One thing I've noticed about trolling comments is that when you look into it, a lot of it comes from other actual YouTubers. And this is kind of normal. I mean, like toxic normal behavior with rivalry, rivalry in business, school, social gatherings, and it's the same with YouTube. Sometimes people can't help it but to lash out because they're jealous, because they've created a video similar to yours just a few weeks before, but it just didn't get as much traction as yours did. It's pretty disheartening to see, this wound up explosion of negative comments on your videos, and that's because you assume the perspective of just someone is just a regular YouTube viewer who's casually viewing your video and has found all these things wrong with it, leaving you thinking, could my video really have been that bad? But when you look at it in another perspective, in that troll is someone who's actually heavily involved creating content themselves, then everything will start to make sense about their comments and you won't feel so bad. Another type of trolling that I've noticed is when people are hypersensitive, overreacting to your video appearing in their precious recommendations list, just like a fly in someone's soup or a hair in someone's salad. But here's the thing. So before I started my channel, I used to consume YouTube a lot. I spent years watching for 2 or 3 hours every day sometimes. And during that whole time, I never consciously thought about my recommendations list. I didn't even really know it was called the recommendations. I just opened YouTube, scrolled down to a video that I was interested in and clicked on it. It's not unless you're deeply involved that you understand the processes behind YouTube including the recommendations list. And when you're using that vocabulary, it probably means you're deeply involved in creating content, or at least wanting to create content. So to you who are offended by my video appearing in your recommendations list, I know who you are, and I'm sorry that you're frustrated with not achieving your YouTube goals. But I can offer you the advice that belittling creators to get relief from your own failings is not a good approach to take in life in general. The third point I want to talk about is strategies in making a successful video. And one thing that new creators make is that they think YouTube is about trying to game the algorithm, or trying to find some hack to get around this algorithm, and that's how videos will become successful. But what I've learned for your video to be successful is that YouTube is relatively simple. All you need to do is to make content that people enjoy watching, and this is probably the most powerful indicator that YouTube has to make your video successful and go viral. The first thing is that people are engaged. They watch a large portion of your video. They don't just watch 10% of it and then move on. They subscribe, they share, they watch following content after your video from your channel. And I want to be careful not to say that you should make a good video, because good can mean different things to different people. Some people think good is good editing, but what it really means is, are people satisfied and engaged with what you've created? You could make really good editing and in your eyes a good video, but your content might just be lacking and people are not interested. You could also make a poorly edited video which is great content, and that will make people engaged. It's all about how satisfied the viewers are from your content. YouTube gives plenty of opportunities for your video to be watched, even if it's like your first video and YouTube doesn't know anything about you. And it's reasonably good at working out if it's something worth watching, or you're just not delivering what people want to watch. A final note on that is your title and thumbnails, and not to make the mistake of it being clickbait. There's nothing that can tank your video more than not delivering what you're saying you're going to deliver in your title and thumbnail. This can even happen inadvertently when you've not done a clickbait title per se, but have just maybe not got it quite right. Also, the other big mistake that people make is artificial views and subscribers. That is, they tell all their friends to watch and subscribe. The problem is with this is that your friends really aren't interested in your videos. They might watch the first one, get over the novelty and not watch anymore. This sends really bad signals to YouTube, and over a short period of time your channel starts to tank. The best way to do it is organically. Just let YouTube find who the right people are and give it some time and nurture, and you'll finally get there. I rarely tell people and my friends about my channel. A lot of people don't even know I have a YouTube channel. So they're the main points that I wanted to bring to this video today. We'll just end with a Bible verse, and that's from Psalms 37 verse 4. And it says, "Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." And that's something that I can testify to in my life. There's a big difference when you just want to take what you want, compared to when you just surrender yourself to God's will and do His plan. Big changes happen in your life when you give yourself to God, when you give yourself to His ways, and He will give you the desires of your heart. So I hope this video was helpful for you. If you like this video, please hit like, make a comment. If you like my content in general, hit subscribe. And if you are riding a motorcycle, take it easy and ride safe.